What's up, everybody? Craig here, and as you can see, here's my Radeon RX 480. Um, I have my 980 Ti back in my computer, so I went into this kind of, with the idea of if everything worked correctly, I was going to run dual RX 480s in Crossfire, not necessarily on Mac, but when I boot up into Windows, dual RX 480s in Crossfire are as equivalent to about a GTX 1080 and about $150 less. So I was kind of thinking I was going that way, but I got some good news and bad news. The good news is that we got it working. So everything was working, and we got full hardware acceleration and all that stuff. The bad news is there was a couple caveats. The first being that you have to tell your BIOS to boot integrated graphics, and that's only because these are in the new MacBook Pros and stuff like that, so it's written in Apple's code. So you tell your BIOS to boot integrated graphics, but then when you boot up into Mac, it realizes you have an RX 480 and then gives you full hardware acceleration to your graphics card. And because of that, you're kind of flying blind at the Clover screen. So I didn't like that too much. But other than that, those only a few caveats. Once you get into Mac, everything works great. And I did a quick way of doing this and a long way of doing this. So if you follow my quick way and everything works, congratulations. But if you follow the quick way and it doesn't work, then you can go into the long way. I'll show you exactly how I did it, and you can follow along that way. Remember, with our AMD card, AMD uses OpenCL and not CUDA like NVIDIA, and so AMD cards are the only cards that have hardware acceleration in Final Cut. So I did a test where I rendered a video in Final Cut, and it actually rendered a little faster than when my 980 Ti is in there, and that's only because when the 980 Ti is in there, it doesn't have hardware acceleration, so that's my CPU doing all the work. So that's it. Just follow along and let me know what you think, and hopefully this works for you.
All right, so as you can see, this is a Mac, and we're running Mac OS Sierra, as you can see from the mountains in the background. And then if I click about this Mac, you see that I'm running AMD RX 480, which there's only a few tutorials out there on how to do it. Obviously, I wasn't the first one, um, but what we're used to is what Tony Mac gives us, right? The builder's guide, what's going on right now. So you got the 9 series that are currently compatible. The 10 series of NVIDIA cards are not compatible. But there aren't too many tutorials or building guides that tell you to buy the RX 480. But as you can see, we got it up and running. And some other folks have some tutorials out there and some posts. I found that they were a little not in depth, not clear, and they kind of left a little bit out. So I took all of them and put them all together in mine, and we're gonna go through it. So hopefully to make it a little easier for you. Another thing to mention too, I found in a post that when you do this install of the RX 480, if you don't write this code in the config.plist file, only half your cores work. So if you follow my method, all your cores will work. Your AMD RX 480 will fully be or have full acceleration, and I was running, and I'm running a 1440p display right now, so it's real clear and nice and pretty. I actually have it mirrored right now onto another 1080, but before, when I originally powered it up, I had it on a 1440 display, and it looks really nice. Okay, so like I was saying, so basically, there's going to be an easy way or a hard way on how to do this, and the easy way. That was my Back to the Future impression of when Marty got hit over the head. Anyway, so there's going to be an easy way and a hard way to do this. As you can see, there's a folder here that says RX 480 tutorial, and this is going to be shared out. So if we open that up, it has everything you need. So what I want you to do, if we want to do it the easy way, open that up, and then you're going to go to Tools. You're going to highlight all these tools and drag them into your application folder. Obviously, I'm not going to. Okay, and then after you do that, and they get done copying, I want you to open Clover Configurator. So we're going to open Clover Configurator, Mount EFI partition. We're going to click Mount EFI partition, open. Okay. Now you uh, may have ran multi-beast already. If you didn't, good. But if you have, what I want you to do is take your EFI partition that just popped up. I want you to drag it to your desktop to copy it, or documents, wherever you want to put it, just so you have it saved somewhere in case you want to go back to it sometime. Just copy it somewhere to keep it safe. And then after it's copied, I want you to take the one you currently have in there, drag it into the trash, and then empty the trash. And after you do that, you're going to go to My Folder, and you're going to take the EFI folder here and drag it into your EFI partition. Okay? After that's done copying, you're going to close that out. And then you're going to open Kex Utility. Okay? You're going to let this Kex Utility run until it's done. Alright, when Kex Utility is done processing, you're going to see this enjoy, have a nice day stuff. Once it's done doing that, go into this Kex to patch. I want you to highlight all these and drag them in to Kex Utility, and it's going to run it again, and then when it's all done, it's going to say again, all done, have a nice day, enjoy. So once it's done that, you're going to close out of Kex Utility. Go ahead and open Clover Configurator and mount it again, but it's mounted, so I'm going to open it, and look, there's that EFI partition again. So we're going to go to that, and we're going to go to Clover, and then we're going to right click and open with Clover Configurator. Okay, so this should be named your hard drive, and it is. That's what my hard drive is named, but if you have any questions, just double check. It should already be set correctly, but if you got any questions, you can just always open Disk Utility, and there's my actual physical hard drive, and there's the partition that is Hackintosh, and if you see that name matches directly up with that, so we're good to go there. And you're done, so we're good to go. Now we just have to make sure your BIOS is set correctly. So let's go ahead and take care of that.
Alright, we're going to get these BIOS settings right. So I'm going to go ahead and hit F7 and then load optimize default so you can see where it needs to be from scratch. So right off the bat, I'm going to go to peripherals and go down to, and this is just my Hackintosh settings. So I'm going to get that set correctly first. So I'm in peripherals, and then I go to, here, hold on, let me go back there. Super I/O configuration, I hit enter, and then serial port, I disabled that, and then USB configuration, also in peripherals, USB configuration, I'm going to go to XHCI handoff, I'm going to enable that, I'm going to go to chipset, and then virtualization VT-D, I'm going to disable that. I'm going to go down to IO APIC entries, and I'm going to disable that. Now it's time for the RX 480 portion of it, which you would go, now on an Asus board it's different, it's like called the iGPU or whatever under advanced or something. I don't know, I don't have an Asus board, I have a Gigabyte board. So peripherals, and then initial display output, I'm going to put on IGFX. That's internal graphics. Okay, so that's good to go. So that's set up for the RX 480. But right here on the chipset, there needs to be memory right there. It's not there yet. I need to restart this, and since it's going off of integrated graphics, I now need to plug a HDMI cable into my motherboard, and then those two memory things that are going to be right there are going to pop up, and you'll see in a second. So I'm going to save and reset, and then plug my HDMI cable into my motherboard, and it's going to go off of internal graphics. Okay, so here's my TV. Now we just restarted. Now remember what I was telling you about those two memory spots. So let's go ahead and go over to chipset, and there they are. So they need to be set to 128 apiece. So 128 and 128. So those are set there. And then I'm going to save and exit. Now what needs to happen is right when you see the Gigabyte symbol, hit the power button on your computer to power down, because this needs to power down, and then you need to disconnect the cable out of the motherboard. So I'm going to save and exit.
And then right when I see that gigabyte symbol, I need to hit power so it'll power down. Okay.
Alright, you heard that thing just hiss? That means it hit full acceleration, and if you look right now, there is my lovely display.
Okay, so there you have it. I'm all booted up. We're good to go. You can see that I'm running an RX 480. It's got all of its RAM and it has all of its cores running because all the code that was in the files and stuff like that that is going to be shown in the hard way, all you had to do is drag and drop. So basically, you just watched the easy way. Everything should have worked very easy. And if it didn't, then I'll go into the hard way. And if you want to know the hard way, then click right here. If not, and this worked for you and you liked it, go ahead and hit the like button, subscribe, comment, let me know what you think. And I appreciate everybody for watching.